Hey everybody, this is Kyle, Technical Trainer from McNeil, and I got this file off the forum from a user who was kind enough to watch one of my videos and actually try one of the models, and they had a few questions on how to repair some edges, and I thought, what a perfect way to do a quick demo on how to fix this stuff up. First thing, if we load the model, we can see that it says in the command line, one open poly surface. This is the first thing you always want to look at. Any model, anytime that you're going to do data transfer, mesh it, do anything like that, you're going to want to do that. Because it's open, the next thing we want to do is run the show edges command. We're going to want to set it to naked edges, and it's going to light up exactly where the problems are. And in this case, we've got two edges out here. We've got some similar edge problems on the bottom. We'll fix a couple with a cheat, and then I'll show you how to fix them correctly. And then we've got a situation where the blend and the surface didn't trim correctly, but these are all actually, believe it or not, super, super easy fixes. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First thing I'm going to do is tackle these. We're going to extract this surface, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. And we're simply going to split by an isocurve. And we're going to split it right at the end where the edge problem is. Delete that, join it back up, and we've got a four-sided surface. We can do that with either surface from four edges, we can do it two-rail sweep, we can do it whatever we want. However you want to fix it, go ahead and fix it. Gone. Naked edge gone. We'll do the same thing over here. Split by isocurve. It's the right click on the split command, by the way. Delete, join. Let's do this one with a two-rail sweep. Two-rail sweep. Boom. Gone. That one's sorted. All right, now these little corners down here all failed the same way. And if we zoom in on them, you can see that the fillet just didn't go far enough. And it died before it got to the corner. Now, the cheat would be to just run the cap command, but I think if you notice right in here, you can see that this edge and this edge, see this little cross intersection thing right here? That's no bueno. So that's not going to work. So we're not going to be able to cheat fix this. So what we'll do is we'll do a decent fix on it, and we'll just extract. Split by isocurve, snap it there, and hit the T key to toggle the different directions, snap it there. I'm just using O snaps to snap this. And we're just going to trim this out, or split it out actually. And voila, four-sided surface. One, two, fix this with a two-rail sweep. And you know, for as small as this is, that's probably fine. If we wanted to do tangent, we could do that. If we wanted to do something fancy, we could do a blend and then do some matching, get rid of the interior shapes, add one shape kind of in the middle here. And we could then do match surf, match here to here, and then down here, we're probably close, but let's go ahead and match it up anyways. Join. Gone. So that would be the fix for all of those, and we would just go around and fix all of those the same way. There's a bunch of different ways that you can fix that as far as the surfacing is concerned, but I like blend because it's easy. So those would all be identical. I'm not going to bore you by going and fixing them because it's the same problem on each corner. The next thing that we want to deal with is this guy up here. And this one is interesting because the blend didn't cut this surface here. So same problem, same thing we're going to do on the outside. I'm going to extract this. And I can do one of two things. I can either trim this out, right, if that blend is super important, or same thing I did before. Split by isocurve, hit the toggle key, T enter, snap there, split this one, get rid of this, and it pinches a little bit, but I don't really care. It's on the inside, and it's tiny, and no one cares. right? We get too uptight about some of this stuff sometimes. Now, if you need to care, go ahead and care. That's fine. I'm not going to beat you up for that. But in a situation like this, I'm gonna use the split edge tool, which lives under here. Split merge edge right here. I'm going to split the edge. I'm going to add another edge. So these match now, right? Matchy matchy across there like that. And then we're just going to do a two rail sweep. And I'm going to chain it. Chain that. Chain that. Let's go ahead and make a tangent. A little crazy go nuts. And I might even put a slash in the middle if I wanted to get really fancy. Say okay. Join. Gone. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to extract. I'm going to split by ISO. I got really good at fixing files because I was really bad at making files for a long time. And over the last 30 years of doing this, I got less bad at making files. But I'm still good at fixing files, so I am very happy to be able to share all of the acquired knowledge I got on fixing my own garbage files so that you don't have garbage files. I like to say that I make the mistakes so you don't have to. Now, here's a fun trick that we can play. This part has flaws in it still, right? This is still an open surface. If we were to send this to a printer right now, it would fail. We can simply just mesh the part, and I'm going to use the custom settings, and we'll see this is tiny. I'm going to get out of that, sorry. Let's do 1 millimeter and preview it. And this is actually in centimeters, so that's a super dense mesh, probably too dense. Let's go 5 millimeters. And fix that. And it's still pretty dense. Maximum distance edge to surface. This is really, really dense. I might go 0.01 and let that run and just see if we can get a little bit. There we go. That's a little less crazy. For doing, you know, kind of a preliminary print or something like that, even a final print, this is probably fine. If you wanted to tighten it up a little bit, we could go maybe go 3. You want a nice amount of polygons, but you don't want the thing to turn like black, you know? Like you still want to be able to kind of see through it a little bit, right? You don't want to go crazy. So let's take that and let's look at this mesh and let's move it over here and let's take a look at the naked edges on this. And the naked edges on this should be pretty much in the same locations as they were on the, you know, on the NURBS part. We might be able to get away with fill mesh holes. Mesh holes. There's fill mesh hole if you want to do one, or there's fill mesh holes if you want to do all of them. And I'm going to just say go and see if that gets us there. And in this case, it did not. So it's still got 8 naked edges. I'm going to expand this a little bit. And let's zoom to see where they are. And it looks like we've still got one here. And it looks like it's just a polygon that's kind of gone haywire on us. So let's shift control click and delete that and make a bigger hole. And then fill mesh hole, singular, and it'll fill that in. And let's take another look. Add objects, zoom. Similar problem on the other side. We're just gonna shift control click. And in this case, it looks like there's a bunch of them in here that may be involved. So I'm gonna actually make a bigger hole. Seems like counterintuitive, but fill mesh hole. I'm gonna just let that fill that guy in. Check it again, close mesh. So we got rid of that problem, right? And because that problem is so small when this prints, it's really not going to be a big deal. By the time you clean the part up, break the supports off and touch it with a little piece of sandpaper. That's not going to be a problem. If it's a problem, just fix it. We know how to do it. It's easy. You just split the thing out and blend it like we did before. But in this case, this is a watertight mesh. Now, the other thing that we can do is we can just shrink wrap this guy. And if we preview this and we don't fill and we hide the mesh inputs, we can see that this is messy because our target length is too big. So let's go by half. It's getting better. Still too big. Let's go by half. Getting better. Let's go by half again. Getting better. Now it's a complete part, and we need to start looking and make sure that we don't have any flaws in here. I might even go by half again. Now we're getting kind of dense, but it's still looking pretty good. I might go half again. That's not exactly half, but that is starting to feel really good. And I'm gonna, maybe I'll throw 1 or 2 smoothing iterations on there. Say okay. It's gonna think for a second. And voila, closed mesh. So this is an open NURBS model. That's a fixed mesh model, and that's a shrink wrap. If you want to do it perfect, fix it here. If you want to do it fast, fix it here. If you just want to skip to the end, go here. All sorts of different options. But I'm stoked that you had a go, that this video was useful, and that we can do this little follow-up here and leave you with hopefully some more information that's useful. Hope that helps. Go make great stuff. Thanks. Bye.